Welcome to Commander Tune-Ups. Today, we're doing Kykar Wind's Fury, submitted by our patron, Travis.
Today we'll show you how to spirit away your opponents.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Do you like Commander Tune-Ups? What about that tribal series we're doing? What about ranking every commander? Did you forget about that? You subscribe to the channel to stop forgetting about it.
Yeah, that's fair. And besides, you want to be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers have 10% more school spirit.
Disclaimer guy here. The Nitpicking Nerds cannot guarantee you'll have more pride or spirit or whatever they said.
Surely everyone wants that,
yeah.
Especially people who are out of school. Because when you go to the reunion, then they're like, whoa, he's had spirit this whole time?
His life must be pretty sad.
Yeah, whoa. Somebody peaked in high school. What's Commander Tune-Ups?
Commander Tune-Ups is a series where we take your patron and donator submitted deck and under your restrictions, budget. I don't know, maybe you want to make it a control deck. Whatever you want to happen, we do it and we upgrade that deck to its max, not max power.
Maximum potential.
So yeah, it's maximum potential. So what is our budget for this deck?
The budget for the deck is $200, and we used almost all of it. We used 191 and change.
This deck was a complete overhaul. It was a tokens want to attack and get in. He wanted us to overhaul it into a control combo deck.
Because his meta got more competitive as it expanded. Great. I love new players. Let's crush them.
All right, so Kykar is our commander. Let's read them and see what we got to work with.
Kykar is 1 and a Jeskai for a 3/3 bird flyer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you make a 1/1 white spirit with flying. It's a token. And then you can sacrifice a spirit to, for some reason, add red mana to your mana pool.
It's a monk also.
It's a monk. That explains the red mana.
Yeah, exactly. So Kykar is a cool little combo. We can do lots of cool things. And I mean, we're playing this as a control deck, so a lot of times he's going to sit in our command zone for a while until we're ready to really take advantage of him.
Or we just stick him out if we got ways to protect him, and then he won't die the first couple ways. We're going to have a million spirits out, and then we can use either payoffs or infinite combos to, like, we'll control the board to the point where we can combo off, and then we win.
So, yeah, you're playing a control deck. There's two things we'll go into real quick that control deck is going to do. It's going to control the board and keep it fairly empty or keep big threats off it and simultaneously gain card advantage so that it can win the game by having more resources than all the other players.
Or just find the way to combo, because if you combo, it doesn't matter how many resources you have, you just win.
That's true. Well, like I said, if we're getting more and more resources, we're more likely to be able to assemble a combo with protection.
With protection, which is the best thing you could ever do.
So we're going to start with mass removal. You're a control deck. You're not going to have much on the board, so when you play things that board wipe, you're not going to kill your stuff.
Are we reading all these, or are we going to run through them?
We can go through, we can do a quick oversight of what they do.
We'll paraphrase what they do.
Exactly. So Cyclonic Rift, you know what Cyclonic Rift is. You're bouncing everything. Card's really silly, really good.
You're bouncing everything you don't control.
Bouncing
everything would be too fair.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate that card.
Time Wipe, extremely good card. It costs 5 mana for a board wipe, and you get to bounce a creature you control back to your hand. So we're going to choose Kykar.
This deck has 3 creatures in it.
3.
One of them's Kykar, and the other 2 are very important.
Yeah, and they're coming up later. Tragic Arrogance, we get to really wipe everything that we care about.
Yeah, we choose which permanent type of each type everyone keeps. We keep Kykar, we don't really care about anything else. And everybody else loses all their best stuff and keeps stupid 1/1 tokens and mana rocks.
Absolutely. Absolutely so good. Magmaquake and Earthquake are 2 different forms. They kill ground creatures.
For X.
For X.
And then Earthquake hits players too.
Yeah, when I think Magmaquake hits planeswalkers.
Yeah, Magmaquake randomly hits planeswalkers.
Yeah, so get that. Do what you will with that. Dismantling Wave can destroy an enchantment or an artifact for each player or
each opponent.
For each opponent. Yes, you're right. Or you can cycle it for 8 mana to destroy all artifacts and enchantments.
So instant speed, 8 mana, discard it, draw a card, destroy all artifacts and enchantments, not counterable.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And then Vandal Blast blows up all artifacts you don't control. It's the red Cyclonic Rift.
That's a very, very good card. Not quite as good as Cyclonic Rift, but very good.
And most of these cards were added, I would say half of these board wipes were added by us. The other half were already there.
We definitely put in the Time Wipe and the Tragic Arrogance for sure. And the Dismantling Wave and the Vandal Blast.
In case we forget, we changed 53 cards. So more than half of it is now Nitpicking Nerds Special Spice.
Yeah, well, I mean, the deck was based on attacks, and when you're control, you do not want to be doing that.
And you could stretch $200 pretty far.
No, and we did. So next we have some 1-for-1s. More spot removal / counters. So first with the counters, we have Arcane Denial, simple one, Dovin's Veto, and Negate. I mean, it's just, they're all easy.
I mean, Arcane Denial is not a 1-for-1. They go up a card, but you stay the same.
Yeah, it's weird. I never thought about that.
I mean, that's why it's so good.
Yeah. Spot removal, we have Swords of Plowshare, Generous Gift, Crush Contraband, and Wear and Tear.
I think the only one that we haven't read a million times is Crush Contraband. It's 3 and white for an instant, exile an artifact and or an enchantment.
Yeah, simple, easy. You're getting there. Wear and Tear can basically do the same thing except for
Destroy.
it's destroy.
It's a fuse card.
Fuse.
All right, that's it. Now the board is thoroughly under your control. If you see a giant threat like a Vorinclex pop up, boom, swords it. Oh, you're going to play a board wipe with my Kykar out? No, negate it.
So, and also think about all this. All the spells that we just listed, every single one of them triggers Kykar to make a spirit.
Like I said, Kykar is non-creature, and there's 3 creatures, and Kykar is one of them. So aside from the 35 lands and 37, so 62 cards trigger Kykar in this deck.
Pretty
you're
much
going to get a spirit with anything you
pretty
do.
much everything. So now we're going right into card draw. We're going to get so much card advantage so easily from these cards. And some of them just get you
Yeah, they either,
insane card
they either
advantage.
like fly through your deck real quick, or they give you like a huge boost right now.
Yeah. So start with the first one. Gourmet Bagel.
Yeah, sure. This card's dumb. It's Kindred Discovery. It's 3 blue. If we've talked about tribal and you've seen that, that's probably talking about this. It's an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Whenever a creature you control of that type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. What?
This card's extremely good in this deck. We're just getting spirits for every spell we cast.
This enchantment now says, combined with Kykar, whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. And whenever you attack with a creature, draw a card. And you can attack with 6 spirits right away, draw 6 cards, and you are in amazing shape.
I mean, this card is stupid good. It gets you so much advantage so quick. And if we draw our deck, we're going to win. We'll get to how we're going to do that. We're just going to win. Next, we have Reconnaissance Mission and Bident of Thassa. Reconnaissance Mission is a brand new one from Ikoria.
It's really good.
So we're going to read it. It's 2 blue. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. It also has cycling for 2 colorless mana.
So if it doesn't do anything, just pitch it.
We don't have to play Coastal Piracy anymore in these decks because Reconnaissance Mission is
The uncommon
so
from
much
a
better.
standard set is better than Coastal Piracy.
Yeah.
Ooh, no one saw that coming.
Yeah. So Coastal Piracy is now dead.
Yeah, Bident of Thassa is the same thing. It's an artifact and an enchantment. And you can force creatures to attack. That's mostly irrelevant.
Yeah, not as relevant. Next, we have some card advantage spells here. We got Treasure Cruise. Draw 3. You can delve it. It costs 8 mana. Simple.
Costs 1 mana mostly.
It usually costs 1 mana. Chemister's Insight, which costs 4 mana to draw 2 cards, and then it has Jumpstart. I almost forgot the name of this stupid ability.
What's the name of the mechanic they didn't feel like trying with?
The
Jumpstart.
Yeah, Jumpstart. So you can discard a card and cast from your graveyard, or Fact or Fiction. Simple card advantage, man.
You need to go up on cards. You can't have every card only draw 1 or 2. So these cards have ridiculous potential, or like these ones, you know what you're going to get every time. If you're falling behind, these will catch you up. Like Mission and Bident don't do anything if you're behind, but you can use Treasure Cruise, just 1 mana, draw 3. I'm back in.
And the reason that Mission, Bident, and Kindred are all still in the deck is because when you're at parity or ahead, they win you the game. They can just take off and just get you to a point where you can't lose.
And when you're behind, Mission just cycles anyway.
Yeah, Mission is a great card. Oh God, I love that card.
It's sweet. This is another Ikoria special.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's Whirlwind of Thought. It's 1 in the Jeskai for an enchantment, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, pretty much any spell in your deck, you draw a card.
Oh, well, 62% of our deck is non-creature spells.
Yeah.
So whenever we cast a spell, draw a card.
Another card that can just take off and win the game because you have this in the field. You can play spells so fast, so easily, because your deck just can make mana for free with every spell. Ugh.
Yeah, I will say,
So good.
kind of sprinkling these in, the average CMC of this deck is like 2.5.
Oh yeah, and we're just talking about the cards that happen to cost more because they tend to do more. But we're gonna get to some in just 1 second. That are like
The Kykar decks have a lot of filler, and it's a lot of cheap cantrips, and we're gonna talk about. But first, we got to go to Expansion Explosion. It's a split card. Is it hybrid for expansion? You can copy an instant or sorcery spell. Mana costs 4 or less, and choose new targets. That might be relevant in a counterspell war, or just with somebody else's. Oh, you played Fact or Fiction. I'll just get one of those too. Or a Cultivate. Oh, I can't do that. I'll steal it. And then Explosion is the real money. X blue red for an instant. Target player draws X cards and it deals X damage to any target. This could be a win condition. I'd like it more of if you're going to get board wiped and you can't stop it, cash in all your spirits right now, make 7 mana, and then just draw like 8 cards.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, you build up any amount of spirits over like 2, 3, 4. The expansion starts getting really high. Also, it can be used as a removal spell to remove a threat off the
You can
board.
just kill something. You still draw the cards either way.
Yeah, totally awesome. Yeah, because it has 2 targets. You're targeting the player and targeting whatever you want to kill.
Creature.
Yeah,
Card's great. It's super versatile. It does something early, it does something late, and super late, you just win.
Yeah, such a good card. Skull Clamp,
Such a good card.
such a good, silly card.
It's dumb. We're not going to read it. You know what it does? It turns all your spirits into 2 cards. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I
Even
don't know
if,
how else I would describe it except crazy.
even if the spirits are somehow big enough to not die to Skull Clamp, they sack themselves.
Okay. A really silly thing you can do. We don't have a way in this deck. This is just something I thought of, that if you have anything that pumps your guys' butts by 1, that's all that matters. So, or it can pump their power, but it doesn't matter. You put the Skull Clamp on it, you sack it to make a mana. Now you can get rid of all your spirits in a line
for free.
For free and draw as many cards as you want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a silly thing you can
Something
do.
to consider if you're more of a pumpy deck.
Yeah, a lot of decks do play. This deck was that kind of deck, but
We cut a million ways to pump spirits.
yeah, I mean,
A million. We cut them all.
the deck was focused on what it wanted to do, to be fair.
It was focused. It wanted to attack, and this deck wants to just rub hand sanitizer on itself evilly and then like defeat them all in one fell swoop.
Make sure you get between your
Really,
fingers.
it's master plan. Don't sniff it because it's gonna get you high temporarily if you sniff hand sanitizer
Oh,
because it's got alcohol or whatever.
yeah.
Something in it. I'm not an expert.
Yeah, and then a little bit of filler here. We have their free spells. These cost a red mana and they draw a card.
So when you cast it, you get a spirit, which can then sacrifice for red mana. So you can chain any number of these into each other.
they're free. They don't cost any mana to cast, essentially.
They barely have text. We're just going to read the names.
Yes. Expedite, Crimson Wisp, Warlord's Fury, Renegade Tactics, Ryle. That one's so boring. Crash Through, Magmatic Insight, Dragon Mantle, Faithless Looting, Overmaster, which is a weird name for a card.
All those cards cost red, and they draw at least 1 card. They just replace themselves. Functionally makes your deck even less cards. And when you start drawing cards off Whirlwind of Thought or Kindred Discovery with these, then you just double it, and these are no longer cantrips. They are 1 mana, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Or 0 mana, go up a card.
When you add a way to take advantage of casting these, they become so strong. Like, they're already just like, okay, this is there. Okay, it's gone. And nothing happened, but I looked at the next card on my deck and put one in the graveyard to get that much closer to winning. Like, we're going to tell you how to do right now.
There's a couple ways to win.
The winning the game category.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's one main way.
We've controlled the board, and we've got a buildup of payoffs, but now we got to just win.
So,
time to finish them off.
Yeah. So we mentioned there's only 2 creatures in the deck. That's because we play the card Divergent Transformation.
Yeah, it's 6 in a red. It's got Undaunted. It's an instant. Undaunted says it costs 1 less for each opponent you have. So if you have 3 opponents, it costs 3 in a red. Exile 2 target creatures. For each of those creatures, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into their library. This is supposed to be a chaos effect. Like, what am I going to get? And you're supposed to use it on your opponent's things. But we know what we're going to get because we only have 2 creatures in the deck. Once we get those and play 1 more spell, we win.
So we get Elsha of the Infinite, who says you can play the top card of your library if it's a non-creature, and you can always look at it.
And she has prowess.
We don't care about.
She's got a mana cost and a power and toughness. Only in theory.
Only in theory. If you draw, you might have to cast her in order to win the game, but
That's not that big of a deal.
That's not that big of a deal. And Trinket Mage, which comes in the battlefield, searches for an artifact with converted mana cost 1 or less. We're going to go get. What do you think?
I'm thinking Skull Clamp?
No.
Oh, how about Sensei's Divining Top, which is a 1 mana artifact, and you can pay 1 mana to rearrange top 3 cards of your library, or you can tap it to draw a card and then put itself on top of your library. And if it's on top of your library, you can cast it with Elsha. And if you have Kykar out, then you get a Spirit, which creates 1 mana, which you can then use to draw top and cast it infinite times.
So, ways to pay this off. We have Impact Tremors, which says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, deal 1 damage to each opponent.
That's infinite spirits. We have infinite death triggers, infinite enters triggers. If you have any sort of Whirlwind of Thought or Kindred Discovery, you draw your whole deck, which then wins the game with Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, who basically just says if you withdraw when you have no cards, you win instead.
Yep. Another thing is Aetherflux Reservoir. If you do this whole combo, you're casting top every single
Infinite
turn.
Storm Count. So Aetherflux Reservoir says whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell cast before it this turn. Pay 50 life, blow somebody's life up.
So this deck can absolutely go off and just draw itself without this combo.
You can just do it. Like if you cast 3 or 4 of the red spells, you're drawing 2, 4, 6, 8. Who knows how many cards? You just cycle through everything so fast because most of your stuff is 1 mana cantrips, and you go up on cards every time.
If you want to make this deck is sweet. It does a lot of stuff, a lot of different ways. Something to add to this deck that we couldn't fit in the budget, if you want to make this deck more consistent, is tutors. I mean, Enlightened Tutor is insane in this deck. There's so many artifacts, so many enchantments you want.
Mystical Tutor, you want to be able to find Divergent Transformation quicker. There's a bunch of, Fabricate maybe.
I don't hate Idyllic Tutor. There's a lot of enchantments in this deck.
There's a lot of things. We have other ways to make tokens. There's Sharknado, from Ikoria too, and then there's Metallurgic Summonings, which makes XXs whenever you cast a non-creature.
The only other thing that we touched up in this deck was the land base. We put about $50 into the land base.
We did. We got to add even a shock. We got to add a Steam Vents. We added all of the check lands, a couple pain lands. The mana base was mono tap lands.
Yeah.
It was basically I was going to say it's basically a precon. It was still twice as good as a precon.
No, the precons are so much worse. There would have been 15 of each basic.
Yeah, 15 of each basic and 25 tap lands. But this was like way too many tap lands for what I want. I hate the Vivid lands. I just would never play those ever.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Vivid lands either. I mean,
we cut all the tap. We cut most of the tap lands. I kept the cycle of 3 tapped gain lands because we didn't want to cut all the duels because we want to go down to basics. Went down on basics, added like 15 lands that can enter untapped.
Oh, yeah,
or the temples that scry.
Yeah, we went in on those. Yeah.
I felt good. I felt like this deck can cast its spells way quicker now.
Oh, yeah. This deck feels good. It feels like it's going to be able to do what it wants. Like I said, only thing, tutors are probably the only way to really bump this deck to the next level.
Yeah, and that's kind of obvious.
I mean, that's always obvious. Ooh, something I think we forgot. If you want some more of those quick cyclers, Chromatic Sphere and Chromatic Star are also very...
Yep. They're kind of expensive, though.
Oh, are they?
I think so, because of Tron, right?
I think one's expensive and one's cheap.
One's jank and one's expensive. Either way, you could play them. We're not building from scratch, so we can't start with them. I didn't really want to cut like crazy stuff for them.
Yeah, we couldn't. We're trying to keep it. We were still trying to keep it on the low end, and we had if we're changing to a control deck, the attack stuff had to all come out. That had to get out of the deck. So we didn't really want to cut things that we didn't have to.
And I don't want to come in and say, "Cool deck, I'm changing 75 cards."
Yeah, cool deck. We built it from scratch.
Right. And it feels like at some point you just kind of build a new deck. But this is as close as we can get. I think we did really good.
Yeah, this deck looks awesome. Thank you all for watching because this video was really fun to do. And super special thanks to all of our patrons. You guys are
the reason we exist.
Yes. Perfect.
They went back in time and made sure that we would exist so they could become our patrons.
Yeah. And we love you as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. And I think, so super secret, I love you shout outs to 2 of our patrons, Patrick. You can tell us if you want us to say your last name because I'm not going to do that without your permission. And Esper Ragnarok. I can just say that because
those are not name words.
Yeah, the Esper Ragnarok. I do like that name. It's every time I see it, I think of you. So because every time I see Esper, I think Esper Ragnarok and I think of him.
It's like every time you see Esper Ragnarok written somewhere.
Yeah, it's never. Never. So special shout outs to you. And they don't have to support us on Patreon.
No, they can go to the TCG Player link in the description. They can navigate wherever they want on the site through that link and then buy what they want, and we'll get a kickback from what they buy. Just helps you and it helps us because you're buying cards you need, and then we're getting money that we need that you don't even have to spend on us. Yeah. And also, buymeacoffee.com. I said it right. It's a digital tip jar. You can go there. And I know, finally, I have a tidbit prepared.
Oh, you had a tidbit prepared?
Well, it's because I really was not happy with how this movie ended that we watched.
Oh my God.
We were looking for a bad movie to watch. And we were saying, we could watch Downsizing. I don't know anything about that movie. We saw the trailer however many years ago. That movie is such a dumpster fire. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
It is. It has nothing to offer. Now, we like bad movies. We like movies that have stupid things to add.
We just watched Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, we love that movie.
Yeah, we both like that movie. I like the Fast and the Furious, those what was it? Fast and Furious, the
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, Hobbs and Shaw. They're both on the same level, stupid, over the top, dumb,
campy.
It's whatever. Arnold Schwarzenegger picking up a phone booth, was it?
Yeah, and ripping it out of the wall.
Yeah, it's completely a silly movie, and it's completely fine. You can have a bad movie be enjoyable to watch. Downsizing, like, I don't know.
Should we just run through the plot? Spoiler alert for Downsizing, because I don't care how long this takes. I want to hate this movie.
We don't even have to run down the plot. I don't know what it has to do with anything. I don't know where the plot goes.
What is the message of the movie? Matt Damon, goes to get the shrinking surgery. If you don't know what the movie is, I mean, that's as close as I'm going to get to explaining that. He gets shrunk down, and then after he gets shrunk down, his wife divorces him. And that's not even relevant. That's like a huge change in his life, and it's the first 30 minutes. Doesn't even matter after that, because he uncovers this, like, not a conspiracy, but he meets up with a Vietnamese woman who was protesting and got her leg cut off. And then she's helping out the people who are, like, in the slums, sick and dying.
But okay, so if you're not following what's going on, neither was anybody else.
Because we're not even halfway through yet.
This movie doesn't have anything. And then at the end, because I'm just going to skip because there's so much worthless nonsense.
Skip the crap.
And at the very end, there's an apocalypse. The world is ending.
What? That doesn't even matter because we don't see the world end. There's no consequences for any of it. We just know that also the world is ending. Matt Damon has a chance to go underground and be part of the people who not save the world, but repopulate after the apocalypse. And he's just like, no. I want to stay with this pushy Vietnamese woman who's done nothing but nag me and yell at me the whole movie. It was awful. It was horrible. And the way the movie ends is Matt Damon gives soup to a guy and then walks away.
I beg you to show me a redeeming quality of this movie. Or, like, I can make up, and I wouldn't be making up. I can find what the writers were going for, but it's so bad, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's, like, kind of a message, but it's muddled with, like, 7 different premises. It's like 8 movies could have fitted into Downsizing. And the worst part is that they knew it sucked, because whoever made the trailer and did all the marketing was like, it's a wacky sci-fi comedy. How's Matt Damon going to get out of this one? He's small. But that doesn't even matter. I forgot that I was watching a small people movie for 75% of it. It doesn't matter that they're small.
If you want more of this, why don't you put a comment down below? Because we like doing videos like this too. We just don't. Well, right now we're super focused, but
we have to be niched on magic because that's how you get a following.
Well, yeah, we know magic. We love magic. We love tearing into stupid. I would also love to talk about Commando and how funny and stupid and campy that movie is.
How many people he kills?
Let off some steam.
Remember when I said it would kill you last? Yeah, Matrix, you did. I lie.
It's the second person he kills. Yeah. It's the second person he kills is the person he said he'd kill last. Peace out, Travis Scott.